You never know what results will come from your actions. But if you do nothing, then there will be no results. Remember who said this? Yes, the father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi. This doesn't apply to just personal growth. Growth is also an integral part of every business cycle. Hey, this is Viral Shah, back this week with some interesting growth stocks for you to consider. Most successful businesses at some point in time have to choose between expanding their business and maintaining their status quo. And do you know what all growth-oriented companies have in common? A leadership team that is focused on expansion, innovation, and capturing market opportunities at the right time. Now, this expansion can either be organic growth or inorganic growth. Organic growth is when a company expands by creating new business line or product, increasing its capacities, optimizing its processes, or reallocating its resources to increase sales and profits. While inorganic growth involves mergers and acquisitions to add incremental sales and profit. And what does successful growth and expansion mean for the company and in turn for long-term investors? Number 1, growth in revenue and profit of the company. Number 2, an increase in earnings per share or a re-rating of the valuation multiple of the company altogether. Number 3, an improvement of financial ratios such as ROE and ROCs. Number 4, deriving economies of scale by spreading fixed cost over greater output. Number 5, in the case of acquisitions and synergies, it can reduce costs and improve sales and profits. Number 6, at times higher cash flow generation can enable the companies to pay off their debt. I am sure you're wondering, if growth is such a good thing, why do companies shy away from it? Well, it's mainly because growth in any form would mean added capital requirements. And this expansion capital is not free of risks, and it can either kill or add value for shareholders. You see, expansion capital usually would come in form of debt and quasi-debt instruments such as FCCBs and debentures. It can also be done through equity and internal accrual, just to name a few sources. So companies' ambitious plan for driving future growth could have several repercussions on the financial statements of the company, such as high debt or low return for shareholders, low profitability due to increased interest burden from debt, return ratios such as ROE and ROCs can take a hit, valuation multiple can take a hit, and so can earnings growth. Companies can get cash trapped. Loss of business and growth can drain capital of the business, leading to the need for incremental capital. This can put the companies through a vicious cycle of high debt. Promoters might need to pledge their shares to keep their borrowing limits high. Promoters might lose control of the company if the pledged shares are revoked to pay off the debt. These repercussions can have a prolonged effect or a short-term effect depending on the capability of the management and support from external factors such as government policies, growth of economy, etc. So what's the best solution for funding growth? Ideally, expansions done through internal accruals are the most optimal way to expand and grow, as it impacts neither the debt to equity ratio of the company nor does the return ratios get impacted negatively. Our research team put together a list of some companies that have doubled or more than doubled their tangible fixed assets through internal accruals. Let's discuss a few of them. UltraTech Cement. UltraTech Cement has increased its capacities over the years through the acquisition of cement plants of JP and Binani Cements through a combination of debt, equity, and internal accruals. But the company ensured that its debt to equity ratio and its return ratios largely remained unchanged. Alembic Pharma. Alembic Pharma set up capacities which increased its gross block by almost 4 times. But it ensured the debt to equity and return ratios largely stayed intact. Pidilite Industries. The company made several acquisitions through internal accruals over the years, but it remained debt free as well as maintained high return ratios. Deepak Nitrite. The expansion project has been underway at Dahej for manufacturing phenol and acetone, and it took its debt to equity ratio very high, but it ensured that repayment was made and it improved its margins, return ratios and cash flow from FY20 onwards. According to our research, these stocks are currently available at fairly reasonable price and are worth looking into. The fundamentals of these companies are very sound, which will ensure a good shareholder return over the next 2 to 3 years. This is Viral Shah signing off. Happy investing. Please remember, we do not give any recommendations. We suggest that the investors do their own analysis and research or consult an investment advisor before investing.